Hello there and welcome again to Winfield's week of rugby league, and it was a week in which we had some clashes of the really big rugby league clubs in the modern era. I'm talking more particularly about the National Panasonic first semi-final between Parramatta and Manly, and of course our NEC big game between Manly and South. And so it started last Wednesday with Manly and Para in that first semi-final, and the lead-up match, the Commonwealth Bank Cup, was a good one. Lewisham Christian Brothers and the Hawker College of Canberra. That's good news for the people down in Canberra, seeing Hawker College make the semis of the Commonwealth Bank Cup. Saturday, Balmain, they were certainly in for a shock when they played Norths. In fact, eventually they were trounced 16-7. And then on Sunday, as I mentioned, we had Manly versus Souths. Who'll ever forget some of their clashes in the late 60s and particularly through the early 70s. Let me take you now, though, back to a match that we saw the Eels, really the electric Eels, put it all together, and that's the best way of describing it. I don't think it would have mattered who they were playing at Leichhardt in the first semi-final. They were really hot to trot, and that's exactly what they did. Parramatta, Delroy, Atkins, Ella, Muggleton playing in the centres, Hunt, Kenny, Sterling, Price, the captain and superstar points leader. Then it's Laurie in the second row, Wynn, Lee Beater, Mosley and Bugden. Manly and Dale Shearer at fullback, that won't worry him in the slightest. Davis, Close, Ronson goes to the centres, Blake, Lyons is 5'8", Mitchell Cox injured apparently this morning at work, Hasler, Darren Rogers to lock, Cleal the captain, Gibbs, Hardy, Cochrane and Daly, and they're coached by Bobby Fulton. First semi-final of the National Panasonic between Manly and Parramatta. The referee is Kevin Roberts. And I would think quite a bit of tension, particularly in the Parramatta ranks. They had a night on Monday, apparently. The coach did not attend quite on purpose to try and clear the air, work out what was going wrong. And here they go now in the first semi-final. Graham Atkins kicking off the ball, not bouncing favourably for Dale Shearer, and he's immediately put down by Mark Laurie. This is Darren Rogers, and Parramatta driving in, 3 men in the tackle. Now Hardy and the number 11 got a good shot in. That was the Lee Beater. Sterling and Bugden coming in second and third. And a penalty to Manly. A penalty to Manly against one of those crops. I think it might have been Bugden stealing the ball. Here's the Foster's Lager replay, and referee Roberts immediately awarding the penalty. Dale Shearer's kick for touch is a good one. Probably a little too adventurous. Cochrane taking the tap. Daly, he's put it down. It must have been either a very good hit, a very good tackle, or Daly didn't quite have onto it completely. Muggleton pulled down by Lyons. Mosley.
I think they're the sort of handling errors that are going to decide the fate of this match tonight. What you have here are two football teams that are very good in possession, and I think that scrums won against the feed and drop balls will determine the outcome.
This is Laurie out wide. A windless night played by Laurie. Peter Wynn. Two-man tackle from the Eagles. Sterling's kick. Davis takes it on the fall. He's on his own 22 and running across the ground. This is Shearer. Atkins makes the chase, misses the tackle, goes in again, but not before Bugden and Muggleton had had their part in it. Across to Cliffy Lyons and now to the head-geared Ron Gibbs. A dummy by Lyons. Little get out from dummy half. Shearer. The kick is going down towards the 32-metre line. They're all offside, Manly. Atkins taking the tackle. Delroy played his first major game last Sunday against Souths. Mosley to the halfway line. Price, Lebeater, strong run by him, gaining 6 metres. That'll be 4 gone. This is Wynn, taking it up strongly, met by Daly, put down, 5 gone. Sterling, the kick between fullback and winger, sitting up for Shearer. He's played at the ball, they're all onside. Good tackle by young Delroy. Davis.
Parramatta doing a good job in the opening minutes. They'd be very much aware that Manly are a dangerous side when they get inside your quarter. They've got big players like Cleal and Close that can bust you open. But if you can keep good field position, keep them pinned down in their own area, then they don't get things all their own way.
Bill Hardy showing what it's like to get a bad pass. Through Hasler, and now Shearer again has to clear. Delroy. Neil Hunt. Good tackle by Hardy. They met 3 metres further down the ground. Sterling, Price, Gibbs. That's a high tackle by Gibbs. Well, I was going to leave last Sunday where it rightfully belongs, and that is in the past. There wasn't as much in this tackle as what it may have seemed. I've got to say that in defence of Gibbs. It looked nasty. I think the replay supports Gibbs. I got the feeling against Canterbury, Graham Hughes, that Lebeater and Bugden in particular would be suited by 4-quarter football. They seem to run out of puff against Canterbury.
Well, I think the same thing might be said about Manly tonight. Parramatta, when they took this field, were a very determined outfit. A lot of talking from all the team members as they took the field. Price was certainly geeing them up. They're under pressure trying to turn around two losing matches in a row. I think Manly, if you look through their pack, of course, they've got 4 players backing up for their 3rd game in 5 days. It might be a Canterbury Bankstown situation where they tire late in the match.
Oh, beautiful take by Dale Shearer. Magic take by Dale Shearer. That's a copybook take. Hunt, Sterling, Laurie. Now it's Sterling. Price. Good tackle by Daly. He's contributed a couple of very heavy tackles. 2 on Peter Wynn. And that one on Price, and this has got to be a penalty. So the attempt at penalty, well, now this has put things into a bit of a dipsy-doodle. Of course, Hunt is back in the team, but I think at Parramatta, Atkins is more highly regarded as a goal kicker than Neil Hunt, and they've just lost Atkins. Hunt taking the attempted penalty. He's got height. He likes it a bit, Hunt, and he's got it. It had a lot of height. It didn't have very much length, but it's a goal for Neil Hunt, and Parramatta lead by 2 points to 0.
Parramatta 2, Manly 0.
Muggleton's lost it. Referee said knocked down by Manly. He gave that indication quite clearly and quite quickly. Now it's Mosley grabbing some ground from dummy half. That's only their 2nd tackle, and it's gone now across to Sterling. Here's Price. Price, can Manly hold them out much longer? Now Kenny's come into the act, and he's been tackled on top of Price. So back to the right we'll go. Across to Sterling, now Jackson. Jackson takes it to the centre of the ground. About 2 metres from the line, and that, I think, is 4 tackles. To the blind for Sterling. He puts in the kick. Davis goes quickly, and I think it may be that Davis has put it over the dead ball line. No, not touched by Manly, out to the 22 for the restart. There's the ball coming into the in goal on the Foster's Lager replay. Sterling Laurie, Sterling, Kenny, cuts out. It's gone to Ella. Ella has Hunt on his outside. Here's Hunt coming inside, away, and coming further infield, up towards the 22-metre line. Dummy half Mosley again. Sterling cuts out Wynn. It's gone to Laurie. Laurie gallops into an opening. There's trouble on the outside for Manly. Muggleton is to within 5 metres of the line. He's a very prominent person out there at the moment, is John Muggleton. This is the last tackle. Win around the back for Delroy. Delroy kicks over the head of Phil Blake, and Neil Hunt, I think, has got it down. Neil Hunt has scored the first try of the semi-final. Well, what sustained pressure. Parramatta had tried everything they knew to go through, around or under Manly, and eventually they had to go over the top, and it came off the boot of young Delroy. He found the winger Blake, had come in field, and he got a beautiful bounce in for Neil Hunt to score. That try should do two fine committee men from Parramatta the world of good, Jack Boyle and Arthur Drew, both in Westmead Hospital tonight. I don't know that they're watching, but they'll be certainly happy to think that they lead by 6 points to 0 if somebody's good enough to tell them. Lions. Close. Lions. Muggleton makes the tackle. Lions. Kenny makes the head on. Now it's Hasler. Rogers. Cochrane. Picked up beautifully by Ronson. Well, the first real test of the Parramatta defence. Shearer. Long ball out to Cleo. Jackson takes him over the line. Jackson needing the help of Mark Laurie. Well, this will be a penalty to Manly against the Parramatta side for collapsing, and there's some fisticuffs as the players get up. Bugden's chasing Gibbs. Meantime, Lebeater and Mosley were the last people off the ground. Matter of fact, that's a very famous part of Leichhardt, or I should say infamous part of Leichhardt. It's exactly where the famous Bears and the famous Blues fought it out tooth and nail here one night. There were 26 of them fighting, and somebody said to me, stick to the football. Here's the refrigerator chasing the head-geared one. Ball locked in there. And Manly are going to win it. Good push by Manly. Shearer, that levels up. The scrum's won against the head. Now here they come to the blind. Hasler within 2 metres of the line. And the referee, I do believe, is going to put a scrum down. Hasler had a go here, apparently. No, he lost the ball when getting up to play it. Bugden. That's a great run by Bugden. He took that flat one off the ruck and carried 3 or 4 Manly defenders with him as he went 10 yards forward. Hardy went over the top to make the tackle, but he's injured his left wrist. Sterling across, and then it's with Delroy around one. Hardy's in a lot of pain. Bugden, or Lebeater it was. Ella, Hunt now. Back and across from Wynn. Picked up by Delroy. The Eels keeping that ball alive. 5 gone now. Sterling at dummy half. Charge down. 6 more tackles now. Dived on by the number 11, which is Lebeater. Mosley settling it for 1. Bill Hardy back in the line, back in the defensive line. Sterling, Ray Price. Price trying to make the break through the middle. Well, just on the fringe of the ruck, I should say. Mosley dummy half. Wynn now goes ahead. Picked up on the shoulder by Daly. He's made some very valuable tackles, Phil Daly. Sterling cuts out Laurie around the back for Kenny, then on to Muggleton. Gets the ball away to Kenny. There could be trouble brewing. It's Neil Hunt, confronted by Blake. Inside to Delroy, swept across to Sterling. Now it's with Muggleton. Muggleton goes ahead about 5 metres. It's gone to Delroy now to Hunt. Hunt steps off his right, goes inside the 20-metre point, and is tackled there on 5. It'll be the bomb across the ground, I would think, from Sterling. There it goes, and it's coming down with pressure on Shearer. They fly, it's loose, and I think he's going to give a try. He is to Mark Laurie. Mark Laurie scores Parramatta's second try off the dreaded up and under. Let's see what happened. You never really count your wages until you see it in your hands, and that's very much the case with these types of tries. No doubt Shearer got to it. Laurie came around the back and scores the try. Here it is again on the Foster's Lager replay.
Despite the new rules, the bomb is still alive and well, and this was a good one because it gave the Parramatta players plenty of time to come through and put pressure on Shearer. That they did. He came up with the fumble, and Mark Laurie was Johnny on the spot.
Hunt goes in for the conversion, and he's got it. So Parramatta leading Manly by 12 points to 0. 12-0 in the first semi-final. The Eels leading the Sea Eagles. Shearer throws the dummy, puts the kick in off the outside edge of the boot. It's out on the full. The scrum will, well, it'll tell you exactly. There are 33 seconds of the first half remaining. Now they would have checked the timepiece. Muggleton's fallen into 5/8. That would be to get the kick in, I would think, if they happen to come up with the scrum. But what's Hasler doing with the ball?
Well, I can't understand this feed. It was a ball that was kicked out on the full.
He must have ruled the ball was touched in flight. I thought Shearer kicked it out on the full. So it's Shearer tackle just outside the 22. It's no use labouring the point, but I'm pretty sure you people at home would have seen it the same way as we did. So a penalty to Manly.
That's not going to go out.
Jackson takes it. The siren sounding. Sterling puts the kick ahead. Muggleton chases. It's a race between he and Hardy. Hardy will get there first. And so the end of the first half. Parramatta going to the break, leading by 12 points to 0. We'll now show you the 6 tries chosen in the Golden Try competition, and then we'll tell you how to enter. The tries are identified as A, B, C, D, E, and F. He takes another 5 metres of ground with him. To the left for Sterling, now to Kenny. Cut out ball, Jackson ran onto it perfectly. He left that ball a little bit late. No, he didn't. Not according to Eric Grothe, he didn't anyway. And Grothe is in to score.
Yes, I've likened it to someone falls off a horse. The first thing you want to do or you like to do is get back on. So that's something we've been very keen to do.
Oh, here's trouble straight away for Tim Sheens. Brett Gale is down to the 22. He passed the ball too early, but they're still going to score. Yes, Naden. The West Centre, Ian Naden, has scored. Dummy half Alan Fowler sprays it out to Brett Clark. He holds it back and gets out of one, out of another, out of another. It's a try. It's a try for the man of the match, Brett Clark. Every man and his dog is applying these go-slow tactics. This is Shearer. Gurr on his inside. Outside it goes for Shearer. Here they go again. Phil Blake puts the foot on the accelerator. And it's another Manly try. The ball goes across now from Cleal through Cox, on from Hasler. It's gone out to Cochrane, cuts them out. Beautifully picked up by Bowstead. Inside the 5 metres. Close goes in to score. Close scores in the corner. Across to Bridge. On it goes to Roach. The big man through one. On to Conlon. Oh, what a great pass. What a great pass. And into the in goal. Scoring the try goes John Davidson. Well, there they are. Try A, the scorer was Eric Groth. Try B, Ian Naden. Try C, Brett Clark. Try D, Phil Blake. Try E was Chris Close. And try F was John Davidson. We'll show them again next week during the second semi-final. Now, what you have to do is, on the back of an envelope, place the numbers 1 to 6 and then match up with the tries. For example, if you thought try B was the best try, place it next to number 1. Your second choice, try next to number 2, and down to your last choice next to number 6. And then you send your entries to Golden Try Competition, P.O. Box 222, North Ryde 2113. Entries close, last mail received on Tuesday, June 3. That's the day before the Cup final, and the winner will be announced on Cup final night. Bugden looking for work, and he's coming onto the ball. He's a perfect example for young props. He's hitting it at his own top speed. Delroy flicks it out the back for Muggleton. Then it goes to Laurie. Laurie up towards the 22 line. 5 tackles gone now for Parramatta. Sterling, and that came off the outside edge of the boot. It's been fielded by Dale Shearer. He's around one. He's gone away from another. Here's a chase and a half. I'll tell you what, they'll want to go quickly. Delroy's across, and Shearer comes to Delroy. The young fullback. Delroy made the tackle on his opposite number, but it's a penalty to Manly. It's a penalty to Manly. Shearer was running away from Ella. Delroy came across to try and herd him in. He's been in the Rugby League wilderness, John Muggleton, since the Kangaroos of '82. Big kick by Shearer, very high. And it's Ray Price who's with it. He knocked it backwards. Roberts quick to give that indication. Neil Hunt. Out the back for Delroy. There's that knock back by Price. We're back live to the 22 line. Sterling. Kenny cuts them out, throws the dummy. Ella's with him. It's Kenny and Ella. Now it's Kenny to the 32. He's running into trouble over there. In and around. Jackson takes the ball. Well, that was just a little dash of Brett Kenny. There's a penalty to Parramatta right in front now. He had the zip man with him. He ran away from him. And then he ran back into a congested part of the field. He found Brian Jackson, who came across from his wing, but Jackson was not bargaining on the reception he got from close. And there's Kenny and Ella talking about it. This is Peter Wynn. Bugden, I still can't help but feel, and Graham, you can feel free to disagree with this comment, that first 15 minutes when Parramatta had the ball for such a long period, it looks to have even put a duller edge on Manly than what they might have been entitled to show.
Well, they were always up against it, as I said early on, the fact that they've got so many of their forwards backing up. This is the sort of pressure that they've been allowed to...
Oh, he's hit the upright, Graham. It's come back. Sorry to break in, but I thought for a moment Manly were on very much the wrong side of Lady Luck here.
Well, of course, they've had a great share of possession, as I was just about to say. They've been allowed to put that sort of pressure on Manly. And, of course, they're now in the situation. They're in a corner chasing their own tails. And the likes of Dale Shearer, who's had a strong third quarter here, they're the only guys, like Shearer and maybe Noel Cleal himself, if he can get himself out wide and bust free. They're the guys that Manly are looking for now to really get them out of jail.
Graham, would you agree that the first thing Manly have got to do is when they get possession, consolidate it and hold it for 6 tackles?
Yes, on occasions, Bill, they certainly have looked as though they've been able to stretch this Parramatta side. I'd be trying to pin the ball a bit further out wide, use Shearer and even Cloud to an extent out wide. They're just trying to rush things a little bit too much, and I can't really remember a situation where they've had more than 1 or 2 goes at a full set of 6 tackles.
Here's a chance for young Cochrane. He's down to the 32, tackled by Ray Price. Cleal now from dummy half, held by Mosley, got it back to Gibbs. Lee Beater goes in over the top. The other fellow that we probably haven't mentioned as a hope, as a shining star for Manly, would probably be a Phil Blake coming in around behind to play the ball and maybe working his magic. That ball went forward, no question about it. And it's going to be a scrum just inside the Parramatta 22. Manly are making a change.
There's Steve Preston, 16, on for Darren Rogers.
Darren Rogers off and Steve Prest going on in 16. Scrum win to Parramatta and Sterling taking it to bed with him. Ella across to Delroy. Delroy coming in for some heavy treatment there. Three-man Manly tackle. Gibbs coming over the top. That's with Wynn. 12-0 in favour of Parramatta. Ella slicing his way through. Gibbs is clutching at his left wrist or forearm. Kenny around and looking to unload. Does. Muggleton backs him up. The ball goes along the ground to Sterling, swept away to Price. Price goes up the middle, and he's tackled 35 metres out from his own line. Sterling to kick now. No, he's going to spread the ball. Muggleton. Now it's Delroy to Hunt. Hunt going down the touch. He puts the kick over the head of Dale Shearer. Shearer's going to be forced to pick it up. Hunt will make the tackle. Oh, yes, he does. And it's a line dropout. Good work by Neil Hunt. No matter who you might be barracking for, Neil Hunt has done a big job here. He was sent down the touchline, kicked ahead. Dale Shearer, I don't think for a moment thought he was coming so quickly. Another change, Graham.
Well, Ron Gibbs is about to be replaced. In 14 will be Peter Cullen, and Gibbs having a problem. He's jarred an elbow at this stage.
Hardy taking the line dropout. Down to Sterling. Sterling down to the 32, calls for Kenny's support, gets it. Kenny to play it inside the 22. Sterling, Jackson on the run round, Wynn going flat, turning it out the back for Mosley. Mosley gains another 7 or 8. He's tackled 10 metres out, and they've only used 2 tackles. The Eels putting on a play on here. This is Jackson. Jackson's about 8 metres out, 3 gone. They're in the middle of the park. It's out to Steve Ella. The drop goal is successful. Parramatta now leading by 13 points to nothing in the first semi-final of the National Panasonic. Now Gibbs is asked to stay on, is he, Graham?
Well, the trainer went out asking him to leave the field, but he spoke to the trainer at some length after that field goal, and he has decided to stay out there.
And now here's the ball pushed along the Parramatta back line. It's gone out to Muggleton. Some of the crowd are a little bit bemused at this ruling by Roberts. It was obviously knocked on by Wynn. He obviously then played the advantage because Cleo kicked it ahead. And that's all I can deduce from the ruling, that he played the advantage and felt that he was entitled to use that discretionary power, and he let play go. Now it's with Peter Wynn. Now it's out to Delroy. Delroy's to the 32. Shearer to beat. Number 1 on number 1, and Shearer actually wins the day. Now it's a penalty. Well, Shearer puts young Delroy on the seat of his pants, or was it Ronson? Let's see it again. No, it was Dale Shearer. Now here's Neil Hunt from right in front. I think he's done it again. Oh, no, he's kicked a goal. 15 points to 0 in favour of Parramatta over Manly. That's Cleo. Oh, a good tackle there by Bugden. Mosley coming in with him. Now it's Gibbs working on the inside of Bill Hardy. Tackled by Mark Laurie. This is Blake. They've got a roll on Manly. And Blake! Ella pulled him down but didn't hold him, and oh, Blake lost it. Well, Phil Blake broke clear of Steve Ella's tackle. This was the player I mentioned might be the type of person to get Manly back into this football match. That's before the score was 15-0. And Blake was about to, he was going to worm his way over the line, and all of a sudden he dropped his lunchbox. Blake, Lyons, Gibbs, he's put it down, and diving on it is Mosley for Parramatta. Might have
picked up an accidental kick in the leg. In fact, he's limping out of it. Here's Sterling, long ball to Ella. Ella runs back into the congested part of the field. Dummy half is Lee Beater. Mosley's looking for attention. It's Sterling. A cutout pass to Kenny. Kenny swerves and he goes through a hole. Shearer to beat. Cleel coming at him. Inside he says to Hunt, and Hunt gets the ball back to Kenny, and Kenny scores. Oh, Brett Kenny at his brilliant best scores for the Eels. There's the Foster's Lager replay of Kenny going in and around and between Hardy and Blake. He's calling out to Delroy to come inside. Hunt comes inside, and then Hunt somehow or other gets a pass away, and Kenny's there waiting for it and plunges over for the Eels' third try, and most certainly a place in the Cup final of 1986.
Well, if you want to have a look at some of the brilliant individual skills of rugby league, you would need go no further than this try. Firstly, it was the acceleration from Kenny as he skipped outside of his man and into a hole. He flicked the ball back inside, and then he backed up again on the outside to take a pass and charge over for a great try.
Parramatta leading by 19 points to 0. Brett Kenny, the try scorer, a cellar man. He throws the kegs of beer around down in the bowels of the Parramatta Leagues Club. Neil Hunt taking the attempted conversion. I wasn't going to tell you this about Neil Hunt tonight, but he came to me very sheepishly and said, "Can you get me the lend of a pair of boots and don't tell the coach?" I said, "What's happened?" He said, "I forgot my boots." Here he is going for the goal and missing it. 19 points to 0, but he's never played better, and I'm telling you now, he's wearing a pair of boots from one of the Lewisham Christian Brothers boys who so kindly lent them to him. Only Hunt could do that. Jeremy Lillis in 15 with the heavy bandage around the head. Sterling, cut-out ball to Hunt. Hunt centre kicks. Cleel and Hunt. Hunt and Cleel, they had a shoulder charge or a shoulder touch up there in pursuit of the ball. That's legal. That's okay. You can do that. 5 gone. Sterling. Now it's Sharp. They spread it to Lillis. A big hole. He puts in the kick. And it's bounced favourably for Parramatta, really. This is Gibbs. He's lost it. It's a try. Well, Jeremy Lillis, trailing along like an obedient drover's dog, dives on the ball and picks up a try. Well, if Manly have been looking for a match where they've had no luck, look no further than this contest tonight. Brian Jackson makes what looks like a simple tackle on Gibbs. The ball pops out the back, and Jeremy Lillis dives on it for a try.
This looked like a very promising Parramatta movement. The ball shifted onto Sharp, onto Lillis. The kick came off the outside edge of his boot. It looked like it was going nowhere. Ron Gibbs had to go back and tidy it up because it had bounced in goal. And Brian Johnson made contact with his shoulder on the ball, jolted it free. Lillis, who was minding his own business, fell on it for a good try.
Yes, there's the tackle from Jackson. And poor old Ron Gibbs looks around and says, "Oh, no." Hunt from a wide angle, and he's missed it. So Parramatta leading Manly by 23 points to 0. There's only one other subject we haven't thought about, is what's Footy Tab going to play? Mel Cochran has come to halfback. Charlie Haggett has gone to hooker. And the scrum won by Manly. It's gone across to Phil Blake. And he's trying to get around Brett Kenny, who comes from behind to tie him up. Close from dummy half. Inside the last 5. A matter of minutes remaining in the first semi-final. And here's a good back line for Manly, but the ball misdirected and picked up by Cullum. Fed back into the middle and put to ground as Haggett. Here's Cleo. A one-hander to Ronson, and there's a try. Muggleton was nearly off the field of play. He'd been told to come off, and he went back onto the field to make a tackle. But Ronson, meantime, has scored for Manly.
It was Noel Cleal who called it to the blind. He went around Lee Beater. He took on Neil Hunt and gave a clear passage to David Ronson. You just saw the shoulder of John Muggleton. He was on his way to the showers or to the doctor. And he gets himself back involved here, or tries to. I don't know whether it's on this replay. Let's have a look. Yeah, there he is. Hobbling his way now further to the dressing rooms. What's the latest on Daly? Graham, as we take this kick, you take it.
Well, he was just nodding to me, Phil Daly, and I screamed out to him in the crowd here. He's sitting up with his Manly players, and he felt as though, yeah, he did break his finger.
Caps a nice night.
Well, it's been disappointing for Manly. They're always going to be against it, I felt. A very hard task for so many of their forwards, so many games in such few days, but of course, Parramatta have just enjoyed, what, 75, 80% of them share of the ball.
And they've certainly woven their own brand of magic with it. There's the siren. Parramatta winning the first semi-final. They go to the cup final in a fortnight. Meantime, Manly has to go back and work themselves out for the big game on Sunday against Souths. Hunt, Laurie, Kenny, Lilla scored the tries for Parramatta. Hunt kicked 3 goals and Ella a drop goal. David Ronson in the last minute of play scored the only Manly point.
Nice cut out to Jennings as he trundles down to almost the quarter, and coming onto the ball beautifully now is Dewey. Dewey may doing it hard. They tussle with him and confine him eventually, and just on the quarter here's O'Neill. Quick ball out to Sukar. Sukar taking the tackle now of Kulak. So Fardell at acting half, and we have a Canberra boy down as O'Neill about to hold up the pass, cuts that run, gives it to Malloy. Malloy, nice work, gets it out well now. This is to Colasao, and is it Fardell driving for the line? I think it's Fardell, but it was all thrust, and we've had it from Lewisham for some minutes now. They wanted to score so badly, they did, and I should imagine Noel Donoghue full of pride and full of joy.
Well, it was only a matter of time, really, before Lewisham were going to come up with the points. They'd had all of the possession. No doubt Hawke were getting very tired from defending. The ball stretched across to the centre, Malloy. He got a pass away. I think it finally found its way to the fullback, George Coulin, who was backing up.
It's Coulin.
Yeah, it's George Coulin who's able... He looked like he was caught short of the line, but was able to get his hands free and force his way over for the 4-pointer.
Yes, I should have known that, because George Coulin scored 2 tries against Merriong and just loves to chime in with some crackling pace. So here it is from Malloy. He gets it to Colasao, and Colasao looking for backup gets it to Coulin, and Coulin, there he is through determination. He's got some crackling pace and over for a score. Plenty of power in that leg drive, and it's to the left of the left upright. So that's the scoreline in our first semi-final, and Christian Brothers Lewisham leading Hawker College of ACT 8 points to 0 in our Commonwealth Bank Cup. 6-0 at least, I beg your pardon, 6-0. O'Neill, Fardell, back to nicely done here. This is Dewey, smothered though by Clyde.
Lewisham are a side where if you give them any latitude at all, they've got such good ball movement, they play such attacking football, just give them one sniff and they'll run all over the top of you, and that's what's happening now. Hawker are getting back their 5 metres, but they're not coming up quickly, allowing Lewisham to spread the ball, and that can spell disaster.
And that was against Cummins for holding the player down. 10 metres short of halfway.
Oh,
That's a good drive, and it's on target. What did we tell you about this boy? Lewisham leading Hawker now by 8 points to 0. Back again through Wilkinson. Now Burns trying to make inroads, but well grabbed by Sukar. And he's 5 metres inside Lewisham's territory. Wilkinson again and going for the drive downfield. Tidied up well by Unwin. He's up to his quarter now through one and collected. And Fidel, eager there at acting half, and tries to break the line, but certainly carries play up to 10 metres short of halfway. O'Neill. There's a nicely offload pass here to Hannell. Hannell gathering pace, but brought down about 12 metres now inside. Lewisham's portion of Hawker's portion of halfway. Through O'Neill. There's a nice held-up pass. Fidel back into O'Neill. Lovely backing up. Like a little faithful turn. Oh, a deserved try here by Quinn. Yes, a good try. Lovely. A movement that showed how to get the best out of them. And did they ever? Lewisham. And they go 12-0.
This is a try that shows the very best aspects of rugby league, and that is supporting the ball carrier and backing up. It went through a number of sets of hands. Fidel, as he often is, was lurking out wide, turned the ball back inside to O'Neill, one of the better players on the night, and he found Scott Quinn, who'd come from dummy half 5 or 6 passes later to back up and score between the uprights.
Well, here it is all over again. So here you can see it. You'll see it very smartly of here O'Neill getting it. And here is Quinn getting it eventually and going over to score. Here he comes, peels off his boot, and there she is. Unbelievable success with that one again. 3 out of 4, and we have a scoreline here in our first semi-final of the Commonwealth Bank Cup. Lewisham leading Hawker College from ACT 14-0. So Hawker College now with only about 5 seconds before half-time. Here is Wilkinson giving a good pass, and coming onto it smartly was Michael D. Burns, their second rower. Not to be confused with their 5'8", Michael Burns. There's the half-time hooter. Here is Michael Burns now going for a drop goal, and Graham West, he's successful. So the scoreline is 14-1.5, where the temperature rose, certainly for the Lewisham fans. St Gregory's College Campbelltown play Keebra Park, Queensland in our second semi-final next Wednesday night. Keebra Park defeated Dalby 28-18. And according to all reports in Queensland, it's a pretty good side.
I spoke to the headmaster of Keebra Park this morning, John, and he said, in his opinion, it's the best Queensland side for years.
Gee, that's a big rap, Bill. Back inside, and here's a nice Quinn looking for backup. He had it there in O'Neill and also Fidel, but couldn't unload. Now here is O'Neill himself. Cut out pass straight over, and, well, you saw it. Again, not controlling the ball, and they could have well been in for a 4-pointer. Coming up through Dewey. If it had got in the hands of Jennings, he was pretty tight on the ropes, but he's a twinkle toe runner. Well, have got there. There's a penalty to Lewisham, and again against Hawker College for collapsing. So O'Neill will look for the line, putting greater depth, at least a couple more metres for which to attack. He says anxiously, "I want it." We'll resume with the tap free. So Jennings links in. And Kulak is on the top, and Michael D. Burns is beneath. Now O'Neill. Lovely change of play here from Hickey. Here is Fidel. Fidel going for the line himself. Oh, reaches out well. It's a special moment for him. Lovely skills this bloke as he filed that one. It was on, and he did it all. And that's young Reg Fidel, and the scoreline now 18-1.
This all started with a switch of play from the open back to the blind side. Reg Fidel, who likes to play out wide, found that he was close to the line and just reached out and planted the ball down.
Well, here it is again. Here's O'Neill with sleight of hand stuff and getting it back inside to Hickey as he crisscrossed over to a fairly wide blind. And there was Fidel with a little dummy and sheer strength and determination. There is the conversion, if any, to come, and this one will be wide. So our scoreline at Leichhardt in our first semi-final of the Commonwealth Bank, Christian Brothers Lewisham leading Hawker College of the ACT 18-1. We're just having a talk about goal kickers and Ross Conlon, and there he is, and more interest in Lewisham now, seeing that he's a teacher there and started there as an English and history teacher this week. Ross Conlon, the magnificent goal kicker from Balmain. And look at here as Wilkinson feeds, and again it's against the head. Doing a top job, Quinn. Now Jennings is bustled up on a fairly thin blind. Now Coolan, he cracks on the pace. He's going to link up with his supports. Oh, but a good driving tackle by Clyde. He really made contact and collared him. Now Malloy looks for a canter. Stopped about 10 metres out from Walker's goal line. Connecting half, Quinn sends a lovely neat pass back inside, a lovely inside channel. I don't know whether he can make it. And I think that was Dewey. It made good ground. And from acting half, he's dived through, and it's a 4-pointer. It's a 4-pointer, and that's knocked him for a further 6. So the score now 22-1 in favour of Lewisham. The boys were telling me they learnt their lesson from last season's experience, so they're very confident, and with a 22-1 scoreline up there, they expect a mozza of a win tonight, and I think it's a bit of a mozza at the moment. Here's O'Neill. Good stuff again. Up well by Coolin, and that sortie grabbed them just on 45 metres. Now straight out from Dewey through Quinn, back inside to Fardell, taking a nice close ball from O'Neill, looking for support. Jennings was trailing him, and Quinn gets in there. Through Cool, a little bit of misunderstanding that time, but O'Neill tidies it up. But chased and hounded round by Burns, Michael Burns there, 5/8. Now Quinn again. They ripped into him, and it's a turnover. Now Kulak, Wilkinson. He's opposite right onto him that time, Quinn. They're working here with number 14, Brett Clark, is on for Hawker, and John Farhat doing the defence. Now here's Michael D. Burns, and picked out of the air by Hickey, looped over the top over here, swacked out by Hanold. Unwin can't run straight, collected by Clyde, and they're 10 metres out, but that's on again for Lewisham as Malloy goes from acting half. He's a beautiful centre, and down, and it's a try, 26-1 in favour of Lewisham, and he's a constant worry. Give him half a chance and he carves holes at him, and I'm talking about Patrick Malloy. Patrick
Malloy's only a youngster, but he's a very big, strong, hard runner. Here he brushed off 3 tackles, looked like he was pinned short of the line, but he had enough strength and power to force his way over.
Well, here he comes. It's a nicely released ball. Oh, that's inch perfect. Rossi Conlon copped this one here tonight. 4 out of 7, and all from almost touch or 10 metres in. Quinn at acting half. This time he fires it to Osborne, and Osborne on a charge. Trying to puncture it, but not this time. Darren Ellie, that's his first tackle in. As O'Neill transfers it to the left, and Malloy does a beautiful slide of hand stuff and looks for support. Not exactly a great offload through O'Neill, and there's a lovely feint again, and he carries it over to the quarter and still going to 10 metres out. Young halfback, intelligence, and gives a tremendous maximum performance, and here they are spread out wide, and here comes the ball, pouring it out onto Hanold. Beautiful, going for the line himself. There, another try. They're just greedy for points now, and Hanold is good a running as you'll see tonight. Went over for that one, so it's now 32-1 in favour of Lewisham. I don't really know if Lewisham can take the ball and get yardage in the centre of the rucks, because I've never seen them play and have to do that. They always seem to be able to get the ball out wide. They have extras out there that gives the defence little or no chance of stopping them. They're so big out wide that even if you do have defence, they're able to crash their way over, just like Hanold did here. Here it is. As I said, flying the ball out, and Hanold just juggled it nicely and then puts on the burst and connects and goes over. Here's O'Neill. Here's a will-o'-the-wisp. He's about 12 metres out. Through Quinn. Hickey, lovely link man. That's Dewey. And he's out only about 3 metres from the line. Quinn, big pass out to Malloy. Not this time. Biscuit was there to halt his progress. Fidel burrowing through. Well, that's Fidel. He delivers powerfully, and you can see him there, and he just gripped that from acting half and pelted down on him and scored a very relatively simple try. Fidel is a very strong young man. He pushed over here from dummy half to score his 2nd try, and not that this game was ever in doubt, but he's just going to make sure of it. So here is Reg Fidel, school prefect. 3 out of 4 goals, in fact, against Parramatta, if I remember correctly. Here he comes. And it's beautifully away. Limps over. He's in 7th heaven. He said, blimey, I've scored a try and I've converted my own try. Ripper. So there it is, 38-1. Christian Brothers Lewisham leading Hawker College ACT in our first semi-final. Wilkinson. Tidied up. Jeff Snowden, I might mention too, is the very smart Canberra Raiders jersey flag side coach. But Hawker tonight, after great commitment, won't be in the final. Lewisham will, as Colasso picks it up. And Fidel at acting half. They're driven by Clyde and lending assistance Michael Burns. So Quinn now. And there she is, the full-time hooter, and referee Graham West says, that's it. And we've witnessed here tonight a great point-scoring blitz and really put through the dringer. The old Hawker College and Christian Brothers Lewisham have defeated Hawker of the ACT by 38 points to 1 in our first semi-final of the Commonwealth Bank Cup.
Well, a very important weekend in Winfield Cup football, and our first game, the Saturday match of the day, comes to you from Leichhardt Oval, where Balmain take on the North Sydney Bears. Balmain go into the match without their stars, Gary Jack, Wayne Pearce and Steve Roach, who are on State of Origin duty. And the North Sydney Bears, well, they were out to prove their critics wrong and just to show everybody that they are semi-final prospects.
Kerry Hemsley there, coming out with this revamped Balmain lineup. Ross Conlon, tremendous goal kicker on his day, but he does have the odd bad day. Not too many on this ground, and he'll be looking for a place in the Kangaroo team later this year. Supporters haven't had a very happy time in the last few weeks, and North Sydney fans have had it even worse. Not a win in the last 5 starts, and some very close results, losing narrowly to Parramatta and to Norths, and the side changed again today. MacArthur's gone from the wing to fullback. Casey's come up onto the wing in there. Cannon's gone from fullback into lock. McKinnon's been dropped, and of course Gavin Jones is playing for Queensland in the State of Origin match. Steve Hansen has had a tremendous season for them. He's gone from second row to front row. He never stops. Les Kiss is very, very quick. He's come down with a number of other Brisbane players to join North this year. Only 22, big future ahead of him, and a very useful goal kicker on the long-range shots. The referee today, Greg McCallum, and it's Balmain to kick off. Welcome to the action here at Leichhardt. Conlon kicks it down deep. That's French. And a penalty is against actually John MacArthur, taken up from the kick-off. An unusual penalty that. He didn't play the ball properly, and you'll see why the penalty was given here. As we say good afternoon to Mike Stevenson. He lost the ball as he tried to play it. Accurate. Yes, just inside the upright. First blood to Balmain. A minute into the game, they lead 2-0. Michael Perry to play it on the 4th tackle for the Tigers. Just in their half. Bridge. Myler. Searching for a bit of room. He copped one in there too. And a couple of the Balmain players going in to sort the matter out. Peter Cross has been called up. Swinging arm in the tackle. 10 minutes in the sin bin. Peter Cross, 10 minutes in the sin bin. Swinging arm in the tackle on Myler. At Conlon, this is a 55, 60-metre kick. He's with the breeze. He'll get the length all right if he hits it properly. Watch this one. Is it straight? That's the only question. Yes! What a kick! Haven't seen kicks of that distance through the uprights since the days of Keith Barnes on this ground. That's a huge kick from Ross Conlon. Friend. Good play by Friend. He slipped them. Got past Myler. The ball was touched by Balmain. The count starts again. Rex Wright. Spread to Filipina. Against his old club here today, Elson Filipina. MacArthur in the line. Bella. Set it up well. Friend. Here comes MacArthur. And Kiss has got it. It's a try. Les Kiss has scored the try. A fine kick by Clayton Friend. And North bounced back to level the scores.
Certainly playing well is Clayton Friend. It's taken him a time to settle into the North Sydney back line, but this really is a well-judged kick. And MacArthur, Les Kiss and MacArthur running through. In fact, you may see maybe a little bit offside. You can't. It looked it to me. But they're the breaks in rugby league. It was a good kick.
Here's Kiss's conversion attempt. Struck it well and straight. Good kick. Norths take the lead, playing with 12 men. Bridge finds touch. I don't know what MacArthur was going on about. He was about a yard in touch.
He must have thought he had legs about 10 foot long.
Perry just holding on to that. Now a shot for Balmain here. Bridge at dummy half. Mrs. Hemsley. Sirenen, look at him crashing towards the line. He's massively strong and very nearly ripped them up hard. He was going for a quick play. Perry's got it. Blindside, quick ball, please. Bridge is over, can't get it down, and dragged him back. So close. Mark Graham was desperately calling for defenders on the blind side. Hemsley makes a mess of it, knocked down by North. Davidson very cool, and the count should start again. No, he says it's the last tackle. All right, Humphreys puts it across field, a lottery ball. Florimo knocks it down, and North have got it. Well, that was all a bit of a surprise.
Certainly was, especially when he said it was the last tackle, but it's sworn that an North Sydney player punched it away.
Mark Graham. Tremendous commitment in this first half between North and Balmain. And North just shading Balmain by 2 points. Hansen again. Unloaded through Friend. We've got it out to Florimo. Makes another strong dash from the centres. Cross. Standing in the tackle. North forwards doing this a lot. Cannon. Florimo again dragged to the ground. Schofield underneath him. Cannon straight up the middle. Kicks it clear. Casey giving chase. Davidson on the retreat. Humphreys. And Casey pursuing made the tackle. Great break by Cannon. He's really getting involved from that lock forward spot today.
Certainly is, and it really was good thinking. It made the break, realised that he'd no one in support. Instead of kicking for the touchline, kicked into the open space. But let's give full credit to the fullback and the winger from Balmain. Stephen Humphreys went back to help. Now you see him being tackled there.
Myler, long ball for Schofield. Flips it inside, Conlon gets it away. Myler again through Bridge. Oh, that was classy football. Beautiful hands.
Certainly was, plenty of skills on display there.
Myler, inside, he finds Kane. This Myler is a very, very, very good footballer. Schofield, the kick was knocked down. Schofield's got it back, count starts again. A real show for Balmain. They can keep the pressure on the defence here. Clark back into the middle. Good field position now for Balmain. That's Perry through Bridge. Myler holds it up. Now to Sirenen. Sirenen really strong. MacArthur the last-ditch defender. Myler. Bridge. That's Schofield. Schofield loses it. That wasn't in the plan.
Yes, he was looking for the inside man there with Schofield, but that was good play by Balmain. Probably the best they've put together for quite some time.
Cross ball, Filipina. What are they doing out in the centres there? French was standing about 5 yards in front of him. Now he's got the ball. Conlon comes in with Kane. Cross. Right. Florimo flying into it again. Beautiful tackle from Surinam. Snuffed it out. And he does it again on Hansen. Surinam inspired. Friend to Filipina. A little chip. There's Cannon. He couldn't get it. Perry's got it for the Tigers. This has been a great first half. Both sides really getting involved. Hemsley's ball. Almost an early tackle. Yes, it was. Callum penalising Friend for going into 4. The ball was taken. You'll see it on the replay, and Conlon is going to shape up a kick. Right inside. What's the tackle here?
You called it perfectly there, Jim.
This one's about 35 in front. He's hit it well, and straight to level the scores. 6-all. 9 minutes to go in the first half. Quick move for Norths now. Friend. Graham. Graham to try and cut it out. He had Hansen in support. Now he's got Cross there. That's Hansen. Friend, Filipina. Graham. That's good play. MacArthur. To Kiss is in, but it was forward. I don't think there was any doubt about that. That last pass was forward. Let's see the replay of that pass.
There's the run round. Filipina, and then the last switch. This makes a half break. Good play here. Good support play, and just. You may have noticed that Kiss had to wait. He realised himself he was just a fraction in front.
So it's almost half-time. What do you think of the first session in the game, Steve-O?
Well, I've enjoyed the game. There's no two ways about that. Both sides have been quite wanting to get the ball out wide. They've tried entertaining football, but I think they're just a bit too much panic on both sides. That's why the mistakes are coming. North Sydney, they're playing very good approach work, but once again, they're letting the ball try to go away with no one running onto the ball.
North's ball. Winning a lot of scrums. Friend to MacArthur. Siren for half-time. Filipina, they keep it alive. Here's Cannon. More support. Florimo. Conlon's got him. And a few other Tigers coming to make sure of it. It's a nip up. That action there. Cut it off right at half-time. And so at half-time, it's 6-all. Conlon's kicked 3 goals. Kiss a try and a goal. Myler. Schofield. There's the connection. That's it. Gartner cutting infield. It was meant for Myler. Well, it was looking good. And again, the ball went astray.
Once again, we saw Balmain just do panic football. They really should have taken the tackle here. That never was on. You should never pass the ball while your back's turned to the opposition.
Schofield always carries that ball in the crook of his arm. Conlon. A bit of room for Sirinen. Bridge. Schofield. Kane. Hemsley up the middle. Just a bit of an uncertainty about where they should position themselves, the Balmain players. Now it's Myler. Schofield to Hemsley. Sirinen. Another ball lost. It went sideways. Conlon with Davidson for the corner. Covered. Last tackle, Balmain. Perry kept kept it going. Here's Bridge. He's chasing it. And it's scrambled dead by Cannon, but a penalty. And it's against Balmain.
You'll find that Bridge pushed the person. It's a beautiful kick. Good thinking by the 5'8".
Perry. Myler. Nice one for Sirinen. Look at this. Conlon. Schofield. Humphreys will score if he gets down. He can't. He couldn't get it down. They pushed him back. Good defence from Kiss. Balmain attacking. Conlon. Back to Myler. Myler thinking of the long ball. Got it to Kane. Tackle from Friend saved the day. Bridge for a field goal. He's kicked it. Gary Bridge breaks the deadlock with a snap drop shot. 12 minutes into the second half. And he just slithered that inside the upright. Knock on. Humphreys is knocked on. He was racing in, I think, to try and snare it on the full. Good flat kickoff from Cannon. So Norths should be certainties to win this scrum. Look at that. Friend stepping.
With a feed like that, Jim, I'm not surprised he would be certain to win it.
Filipina. Florimo. Cannon. Not many here. Graham with Kiss. Graham will score himself. Easy. Walk through them. And that Balmain defence, typical of what we've seen so often in the second half this year. Graham just walked through. He had Kiss outside him, but he didn't need him. Look at this.
Certainly was a good try, good individual try, but let's give a lot of credit to the hooker. Right, he switched it to the blind. Balmain really were caught napping there. He's facing the open, then switch down to the blind. Cannon, just a little step, good play. Very good play by the Kiwi international.
Okay. Look at that. Norths win another scrum against the feed. Away goes Fred. That's cross. And Balmain really missing Roach and Elias there with those scrums. Now right to play it for Norths. Excellent position again. Friend. Filipina. Wide of the ruck. Cut out ball to Florimo. Sirinen again. He is conspicuous in defence. Graham's kick ahead. Bridge under it. Lost it and grabbed it. Humphreys. Clark. Myler.
Well, the look on Ross Conlon's face probably spelled it all out there. Calling for the ball, never receiving it.
Norths have got it back. French. MacArthur in the line. It was a good play, MacArthur, full of determination, the little fella. Friend again. Out to Florimo. Only a metre short of the line, Norths. Great chance for them. Casey. It's got Friend in there. Now it's Cannon. All right, Filipina. There's a bit of room out here to the left. Quick spread. Bella goes ahead. And Bella's over. He scored. And that could wrap it up for the Bears. They're 14-7 ahead. A walk drive from Martin Bella.
He fully deserves his try. He's worked hard all day. Calls for the run round. Sets off. Strength. Realises there's the line. Nothing is going to stop me. And in for a well-deserved try. He calls for it here. Makes the back gap. Humphrey's not strong enough. Hemsley coming in to help. But the weight and the sheer strength of the man.
Big Olsen. 2 little steps. And 2 useful points. North 16. Balmain 7. Nice scrum feed. Didn't get away with that one. Got the hook up. Feed across. Scrum statistics are amazing today with all those tight heads to Norths. Owens. Time just about up. Brooks. That's Perry.
Well, Balmain, Jim, have looked a very ordinary side without those 4 stars, haven't they?
They haven't broken the line too often today. Conlon over the top. Schofield to Davidson. And he's covered up. And there's the siren. It's a win to the Bears. It's been more than 3 years since Norths beat Balmain in a premiership match. Well, they've done it today and thoroughly deserved their victory, 16-7.
Well, a solid upset there to the North Sydney Bears, and from Leichhardt Oval we go straight to Brookvale for Channel 10's NEC. Big game clash between Manly and South Sydney. The winner, of course, from this game will be the outright leaders of the Winfield Cup, and Souths also out to prove their critics wrong and show that they are also real semi-final prospects in 1986. Manly Warringah, well, they may not even go into this game as favourites, very simply because too many of their big guns also, just like Balmain, are on duty and call for both Queensland and the New South Wales teams in the big State of Origin clash. Here are all the highlights from Brookvale Oval.
Hello and welcome to the NEC big game in round 12 of the Winfield Cup between Manly Warringah and South Sydney. With today's game coming from Brookvale Oval, where after 11 rounds, that's the way it is, with Manly and Souths leading the competition, both on 18 points, coming from 8 wins, 2 losses, and they've both had the bye. In the absence of Big Noel Cleal on State of Origin duties, Des Hasler will lead the Eagles today. Their full team rundown is Gurr, Davis, Ronson, Rogers, Blake, Cox, Hasler, Lyons, Cullum, Gibbs, Paulson, Cochrane and Daly. Also missing from the team for Tuesday's match are Dale Shearer and Chris Close. Well, Mario Fennick leads the Rabbitohs, and though today it works in their favour, they are a disappointed club in not having players in the representative side. Their team today is Baker, Ross, Pobji, Moon, Harrington, DeJura, Coleman, Chisholm, Boyle, Gould, Davidson, Fennick and Roberts. And the referee for this Winfield Cup top-of-the-table clash is Michael Stone.
South Sydney running from left to right. The big kick-off by Neil Baker. And Cliff Lyons it is who takes the first tackle in this clash. This is Gibbs being put down. Chisholm up the top. And a penalty goes to Manly. Richie Paulson and Craig Coleman becoming entangled. So we didn't get very far down the lane before a penalty was given. 2 tackles, in fact. This is Daly going ahead. He's had a lot of football in the last fortnight. And another penalty goes to Manly, this time right in front, 35 metres out. Cochrane placing the ball for the attempted penalty.
Here on the sidelines is Noel Cleal with Graham Hughes.
Noel, it was this time last year Manly had a great start to the Winfield Cup, but along came the State of Origin, so the crunch is on again in '86. Yeah, Graham, this will have a big bearing on how we go for the rest of the year. If we can win these 2 or 3 games that are on, with the rip games, Wisconsin's in pretty good stead, for the rest of the year. So hopefully we can get away with it. Where do you see the key to today's game? Well, I think our front row fires all right, and the rest of the side they sort of complement one another. So if our front row, which is I think is a form front row in Sydney, even with Richie Paulson and replacing Billy Hardy, we haven't lost much there. So that's the big key for us today. Okay, good luck Tuesday night. Thanks, Graham.
Cochrane left the boot all right, but it's hooking and it's no goal. 0-0 with Cochrane having a chance. Baker's 22 dropout going straight to Marty Gurr. Dejura coming over the top of Chisholm's tackle. Here's Gibbs. Oh, Gibbs ran a long, long way before he found some defence. Baker now, pursued by Cochrane. Tackled inside the 22 line by Cochrane and Davis. This is Moon playing it. Davidson playing it on the 22. Gould. Oh, Gibbs came over the top. That has sickened Gould, that tackle on him by Gibbs. Looking at it, without the use of the replay, I thought it might have got him on the point of the shoulder, but Gould immediately grabbed at the side of his head. Touch judge going in. This is, I would think, to do with what I'm talking about. There's the tackle. And Gould, you see his left hand went straight up below his ear, where the contact was made. Now, I'm assuming that this report from the touch judge has nothing to do with Phil Gould being on the ground, for if it has, they have the wrong person. It was Peter Cullum in 22 who was spoken to by the referee acting on a touch judge report. Gould is still not 100%. I doubt that he's going to be for quite some time.
If Gould is injured and can't get through this game 100%, Souths are going to have a big problem because he's the key playmaker and organiser of their attack and defence, and he doesn't look well.
They've got Gould walking. David Boyle near the halfway, and a penalty goes to Souths. Still Phil Gould getting attention as Souths pick up another penalty. .35 metres out from the Manly line, and Harrington goes ahead. The sin bin has been utilised. And Darren Rogers, the centre, has been sent to the sin bin for 10 minutes. So a penalty goes to Souths, well within kicking distance for Baker, and what a heated start it has been to this top-of-the-table clash, with a couple of swinging arms, a couple of high tackles. Baker, prolific point scorer. He's missed it. Gone into the in goal for Gibbs. This is Paulson. And South's now milling in. No score. Both teams have had the chance to bring up 2 points. This is Daly. South trying to force Manly in the end goal, and there's another punch going at the back of the play and one up the front. And altercations now breaking out in 2 areas. Players flying in from all over the park. Lefts and rights being thrown as this Manly-South match erupts. Some very ugly scenes here at Brookvale. Would you like a higher seat, Graham?
Well, it was always going to occur. The first 5 minutes made sure of that. Now, if the touch judges have got the right people here, there could easily be 1 or 2 from either side here go very simply because of the fact it had settled, but then there was 2 or 3 players that just ran in with a couple of king hits. If they've done their job properly here, don't be surprised to see some guys walk, and we won't be seeing a sin bin here. They won't come back.
Daly was trying his damnedest to keep in the field at play. Several South players were trying to force him, and then this was the initial eruption with Chisholm in the middle of it. Then you can see Big Davidson over to the left. He got into his own private war, but there were a couple of others standing about 15 metres from the action. They finished up in the third fight, and don't be surprised if they are the ones to go. So sin bin for Davidson and Lyons and Podgy as well. Now, Podgy was the fellow who came in from a long way away to get involved in the final incident. That was the man I didn't particularly want to name him at that time because there were so many involved. It would have been unfair to single just one out. Now, I'm just checking with some of my helpers here. Was it 10 minutes for all of them, or in fact was 1 sent off? 10 minutes the sin bin for all of them. Add them to Darren Rogers, and now you've got 11 versus 11. So Daly plays it. Cullum goes ahead, blood coming from a wound on his face. And a penalty goes to Manly. Oh, Cullum's face, have a look at it. It looks like he's been 15 rounds, and we've only just had the first round. Chisholm was one of the first involved in the brawling. It'll take a lot of strength on the part of the referee, Michael Stone, to put this fire out. Now it's Gibbs. And a penalty goes to Manly against Ian Roberts. Penalties in 11 minutes. Cochrane now. 40 metres out right in front. His kick, he's hooked it again fractionally, but this time he's got it. There's the first points on the board. First points to Manly, leading Souths 2-0. Hasler. Loose again. Cleaned up by Boyle. Gould. Baker. Harrington. 20 metres from the line. Fennick making good ground from dummy half. He's only used it twice. And twice he's been able to make at least 5 metres. Gould. De Jura. 5 tackles gone now for the Rabbits. Gould. Coleman. Moon! Moon is over, but has he got the ball down? Yes, it's a try. Scored by the centre, David Moon. After Craig Coleman had held it back, Gould was instrumental in the early stages of the try. And then it was Coleman who just held it back and floated it onto the chest of David Moon. I thought for a moment he might not have got it down. And I must say, initially, it looks that he doesn't. But here he is, the former South Coaster, picking up the first try of this top-of-the-table clash.
When you're playing with 2 sets of 11 players, there are bound to be some holes in the field. Craig Coleman found one, slipped a good pass onto Moon, and he charged over.
So David Moon, at 21 years of age, is in his first year with the Rabbits. 82-85 with Illawarra, and 83 was the reserve grade player of the year at Illawarra. Blood on his mouth. Baker now from a fairly wide angle. He's had the one shot and pushed it away. Recently has signed a 2-year contract to stay with Souths. His kick left the boot beautifully. No goal. So the scoreline in the NEC big game is 4 points to 2 in favour of the Rabbitohs of South Sydney. Rogers back on for Manly. It's Moon to the halfway. Coleman. De Jura. Gould. Boyle. He must have played pretty well last Sunday, David Boyle, holding down his first grade position. Pobji. They're on the 32-metre line. 5 tackles gone. Gould indicates the bomb is coming. Then decides to pass it for the field goal attempt by Baker. Looks okay. Oh, is it what? What a beautiful kick. Well, he struck that from 40 metres out. And it was a tremendous drop goal. Straight over the black dot. And it's 5-2 in favour of South.
Yeah, and as we come up for this kick-off by Mitchell Cox, bad news for South Sydney. Their captain, Mario Fanick, ran to the sideline while the players were coming back for the restart. He looks like he's got a lot of problems with the hamstring.
Coming down to Baker. Harrington, the big winger, goes back with it to the 22 line. Davidson. Chisholm. Roberts. Boyle. Baker. Penalty to Souths. Manly inside the 5. What's the story on Mario? Graham, you're sitting almost on the sideline where he came to.
Well, the message to the trainer was that he had asked especially to have the South Sydney doctor Nathan Gibbs see him at half-time. It's a recurrence of ankle ligament problems. I would say that if he wants to take any further part in this game, he's headed for maybe a painkiller at half-time.
Coleman, Davidson. Coleman, De Jura. Roberts out very wide, turning it back to Chisholm. De Jura, Coleman. Pobji's put it down. And Manly with the ball, 32 metres out from their own line. South leading by 5-2. Hasler. McCullum. Cox. Kick is going to find touch very close to the south line. In fact, only about 7 metres out. This is Hasler. Manly about 5 metres out from that line. Daly.
Well, Manly continuing to play this game in tight, and they might come up with a result from it, but I'd still be looking to push the ball.
Well, they've got to take the kick at goal. Des Hasler didn't hesitate. He indicated to his kicker, take the 2. 9 minutes of the first half to go, and Mal Cochrane will take the kick for the 2 points. It was the tackle on Daly. He was struggling to get up, and as he did, he had the ball stolen from him. Breeze. Maybe strengthening just a little bit, this breeze. It's been behind Manly in the first half. It wasn't really a talking point earlier on, but it is, I think, coming through a bit stronger now. With Cochrane almost certain to get this 2-pointer. It'll make it 5-4 in favour of South. Just the Baker drop goal, the difference. And Cochrane, oh, it's come off the outside edge and is wide. Well, that can be looked upon as the 2 that got away. 5-2 in favour of the Rabbitohs still. Harrington. Good gain in ground there. Out to Coleman, across to Boyle. Gould. Oh, knock on by Gould. He won't be very happy with the pass he got. It's his second knock on for the match. Fennick's pass was right down low and out in front of him. Lyons, a long pass, and Rogers simply, he deflected it across to his centre partner Ronson. The referee has ruled the ball was knocked forward. I was about to say Ronson simply only had to pass the ball, and Davis had a lot of space to run in. Even looking at it head on, I'm not so sure that the ball was deflected forward. Scrum going down about 15 metres into South's area. Won by the Rabbitohs. To the blind side goes Chisholm. Only a matter of seconds to the break. Boyle. And there's the siren. The end of the first 40 minutes. And here's a comment from Graham Hughes at 5 points to 2 Souths.
Well, it's back to basics for Manly Warringah in the second half. I'm pretty sure that Coach Bobby Fulton will be saying in no uncertain terms the only way to put pressure on this South Sydney lineup is very simply to hang on to that ball for the full set of 6 tackles. South Sydney, on the other hand, they turn around with the points on the board. As Ray said, 5-2 they lead. And in the second half, they'll have the aid, or they'll be aided by a very strong breeze. And the key to the game there is, of course, the big kicking game from their fullback, Neil Baker.
Both kickers have been offline today, as Mitchell Cox takes plenty of ground with that kick. Harrington goes back as we have a look at the tackles. 92 for Manly, 67 for South. Paulson topping them for Manly, and Roberts for South. In fact, possession held tells a very similar story. Manly for 38 tackles, South's for 59 tackles. The second half will be played with South running with the advantage of the breeze at their back. Baker. Cochrane went through on a charge down mission.
Cochrane did a very good job. He put a lot of pressure on Baker, who tried for the clearing kick, and Baker came up with a kick which wouldn't have been spot on and to his liking. Blake was able to field it and bring it back to halfway.
Mario Fennick involved in that tackle. Of course, that right ankle has been bandaged. Again at half-time. Hasler
through Cox, and it's now with Rogers. Ball coming out, and Souths have it through Bronco de Jura. As the shadows lengthen across Brookvale, and Roberts takes it back to the halfway. They're playing for the right to be on top of the premiership table on their own, these two clubs. Boyle. Chisholm. And the kick is coming for Gould. And he's lined it up and driven it to within 5 metres of the Manly line. Good kick by Gould. And there's the slow motion NEC replay of the kicking action of Phil Gould. He's a very precise kicker. Hasler. Don't forget to look for the NEC footy trivia game in tomorrow's 8-page NEC League lift-out in the Daily Mirror. Some great NEC prizes plus a trip to the United Kingdom. Cox. He's lost it. Moon sweeps it away to Pobji. Pobji caught from behind by Phil Blake. Dummy half Gould. Now it's Fennick. Coleman. Coleman. Back to Gould. Gould still going. He's within about 5 metres of the line. Dummy half is Big Roberts. Coleman. Long ball to de Jura. 9 metres out from the line are South Sydney. Coleman. This is Harrington. Held by Daly and Cullum and Rogers. Now Coleman's to the left. Gould is not in the line. Here's Baker. Baker chips. And it's a tap from the 22. Let's have a look at this. Baker. He's only just picked up a penalty for being interfered with. That's a crazy game, Rugby League, isn't it? I must admit, I thought Rogers was badly done by when he was penalised for harassing Baker before. But on that occasion, South didn't get the penalty, and there seemed to be an obvious harassment of the follower. Gibbs is having a bit of trouble raking it in. He does that now, and he's still going, Ron Gibbs. The ball thrown out willy-nilly. It's with Cochrane. Let's take a sideline comment from Graham Hughes.
Well, Manly ring in possession, as I said just prior to the break at half-time. They're continually fumbling, poor passes, making a lot of mistakes, turning the ball over to South Sydney, and this, of course, doesn't put any pressure on the Rabbits whatsoever. The man that's really responsible for this, Mitchell Cox, has got to take it upon his shoulders, as well as Daz Hasler, to settle this Manly side down. Only 1 or 2 rucks up the middle through the forwards, and then they've got to find a back line. I really haven't seen, we've seen something like 40 minutes, 50 minutes gone in this game already, and not once have we seen a complete Manly backline move.
Graham, the last 2 passes that Mitchell Cox tried to throw, he rolled them along the ground. He's got to be carrying an injury still. Well, if it's not an injury, Billy, just got to turn around and start organising this Manly backline, because if there are gaps in this South Sydney defence, they're certainly not up the middle of the ruck.
This is Michael Pobji. 14-9, the handling errors there. Manly guilty of 14, South 9. Coleman, grubber kick through. He's taken a fall, or was in fact he felled. And the referee has made a penalty here to Souths. He's indicated a trip. Big Richie Paulson, the offender on this occasion. Let's have another look at this. Coleman, a kick through. Gibbs might have got a little shoulder into him, and then Paulson is in a bit of pain from where Coleman came in contact with his leg.
He likes that one. He's turned his back on it. He's jogging back into position. The flags are in the air. South Sydney leading Manly by 7 points to 2. Gibbs. Penalty against South for 2 markers on that occasion. When I say 2 markers, not standing behind one another, but in fact standing side by side. Try as much as possible to emphasise the reason for penalties for our overseas viewers, particularly those in Canada, who receive a lot of our NEC big games, and others through Europe, through the Sky Channel, where the game is in its infancy as far as spectatorship is concerned. Cochrane now with a chance to bring Manly to within 3 points. And he's got it. He was a little bit offline, but that doesn't really matter. The final analysis is 7-4 and 2 points to Manly. What's the accurate story on Phil Daly's hand, Graham? Apropos Wednesday night, I read that he'd been asked to have an injection and play today.
Well, I didn't have it confirmed that it was a broken finger, but I think it's possibly becoming a bit more of a fad. He is luckier that it is a finger, one of his middle fingers, and it can be very easily strapped together. And of course, it's not a problem so much as if it was, in fact, say, a thumb.
Bad mistake this one by Manly from the kick-off from South Sydney. They've allowed the ball to go dead in goal, which means it's going to result in a line dropout, and South with a chance now to apply a little bit of pressure to Manly.
With the drop kick, 16,500 we're told, the crowd. Played by Ross. Now it's Chisholm. Replacement coming on for South shortly.
Yeah, you mentioned at half-time you expected some of these walking wounded maybe not to come back out. Well, we'll come back.
What about Davidson's run then? Fennick takes it to within about 5 metres of the line. Oh, that was a very big run by Davidson. Coleman, Gould throws the dummy and tries to step. They're 2 metres out from the line. Dummy half is Fennick. Back for Coleman. Now it's to Boyle. Boyle taken into touch. A scrum to restart. Let's go back to Graham.
Yes, Les Biles in 16. Another change for this South Sydney team. Another winger also. It'll be Ross Harrington to come off.
16, Les Biles on. Ross Harrington in 5 coming off. That's Ross. To the 22, that's 5 gone. Spun back for Baker. Baker runs with it. Puts the chip over and regathers. Kicks again, Baker. There's a chance here for Coleman. No try.
Well, Craig Coleman thinks it was. Craig's sure that he got a hand of that one.
I think he did too, but I'm wondering whether he forced the ball with downward pressure. But what brilliant play by Baker. Here's the ball in the in goal. See what Coleman does. No, it came off the boot of the Manly player, Cullum. Good ruling by Stone. So the dropout from Cox. Change for Manly, Graham. There it was again, the replay, sorry.
Yes, Darren Rogers is now off, and in 24 on the field is Larry McMillan.
Well, that was a good piece of rugby league you just saw from Baker. And desperate stuff from Cullum, the second row. Coleman now to the blind side. He's got runners this time. Chisholm is running as a second man. Now it's Biles. Souths have so often been in good field position, but they just haven't been able to put that icing on the cake. Gould, Davidson, Roberts, they must score. No, he's ruled a forward pass. The South Sydney supporters go back to their seats. See it again. Gould held it back ever so beautifully. And then Davidson's pass to Roberts, a hell of a question mark on it, but the referee ruled that it was forward. Cochrane, nobody putting any pressure on him. It's a long kick, but Baker's underneath it. Osler makes the tackle on Baker on the South 32. Biles. Gibbs and Paulson, they went in to put Les Biles in his very own sandwich. Have a look at it here. He ducks out of the road and bingo! They both come up with 3 sevens. Gould. He's lost it again. 6 more tackles though. The referee ruling that the ball was raked from Gould's grasp by the Manly players. So that, in fact, is the first tackle. This is the second coming up now. Coleman, Biles. Finnick. Roberts. Away from Coleman out to Moon. There's no question he's been the best centre on the ground, David Moon. 5 tackles gone. Coleman back to Baker. He's gone for the drop goal. He likes it. Referee Michael Stone giving the drop goal to Neil Baker and to South Sydney for the Rabbitohs to lead now by 8 points to 4. There's the NEC replay. He didn't get much time, but he certainly had all the accuracy. So 8 points to 4, and that's the second drop goal for Baker from a long way out. Chisholm, he's had a strong game, this back rower for South Sydney. I don't know what his tackle count is, but his attack has been good. This man has had an outstanding game, and I know he's been around drop balls on about 5 occasions, but he has played very well. Here's Chisholm again. It's his second time with the ball on this set of 6. Podgy, blindside for Baker. Baker away to Ross. And again, 5 tackles have expired for Souths. Gould gets the kick in. He's felled by Gibbs. Richie Paulson with the ball. Davis. So Gibbs comes from the field, obviously, with that shoulder giving him too much trouble now. Paulson. It's still not too late for the Eagles. A breakdown, a time and motion study of this match. If you didn't know the score, you'd probably be inclined to say, well, the team was red and green on. Should have won the match by about 20 with the amount of ball and territory they've had. But incredibly, Manly can still win this football match. Down by 4 points. And that's the turnover. The first in the match. Which indicates that not too often has a team been prepared, and you've got to say, not too often has South been prepared to run the ball on the last. Davidson has made some strong runs. Now it's Boyle. Oh, that was a very good tackle by Paulson. One of many, many very strong tackles that he's made. Now 24 is McMillan. Manly have used all their replacements. That's David Ronson. pass out to Cullum. Now Souths have got to call on their defensive resources. Shaw through Cochrane to Cox. Now it's with Marty Gurr. Shaw again and across to Cox again. Puts in a kick. Nobody wanting to actually go for. Here's Davis going fast. Oh, it's come off the inside edge of his boot and gone over the touchline. Oh, that was a great opportunity for Manly, and Davis knows just how unlucky he was. He tried to kick it ahead off the point of the boot. That's the mistake he made. Instead of probably getting it off the inside edge with a soccer-type kick, he's gone off the point of the boot. By Davidson. Pobji out to the 22. Souths know that all they have to do is keep it very, very simple. Gould tackled on the 22. South Secretary Terry Parker. George Piggin sitting next to him. His kick goes down the ground to Marty Gurr. And it's DeJura and Boyle who stop Gurr. Four points the difference. And South looking like they're going to be the premiership leaders. As the seconds tick away for Manly to pull it out of the fire. This man is Cullum. Tackler was Pobji. Hasler, Shaw, Mitchell Cox, back now to McMillan, over to Hasler. Cochrane with a long run down the ground, but he's given the ball back to a South Sydney player. And again, a player unable to play the ball. David Boyle this time. Ross taken to ground by Cochrane. And there's the siren. The Souths defeating Manly at Brookvale by 8 points to 4. Just the one try in the match was scored by David Moon, the South Sydney centre. Baker kicked 1 goal and 2 drop goals. And for Manly, Cochrane kicked 2 goals. Let's have a look at all the results of the weekend football. North 16 defeating Balmain 7 yesterday. Penrith 36, a big win over Cronulla 12. Illawarra 14, Eastern Suburbs 4. Canterbury 14, St George 11. Souths 8, Manly 4, and Parramatta 28, Canberra 18.
Despite a long injury list and Sterling and Kenny on State of Origin duties, the Eels scored first at the Parramatta Stadium. However, the Raiders hit back 5 minutes before half-time with the length of the field effort started by Gary Belcher and finished by Chris O'Sullivan. Trailing 6-4 at the break, Parramatta regained the lead early in the second half with 2 quick tries. The second coming after good work from Mick Delroy for Brian Jackson, and Parramatta leads 16-6. Then the Raiders hit back with 2 quick tries of their own through Gary Belcher to take the lead back 18-16. The seesawing affair continued when the Eels crossed for 2 more tries, the first to Ron Quinn and this one to Tim Barnes, giving the Eels a 5 tries to 3 advantage and a 28-18 winning scoreline.
Field it was all Penrith in the first half, scoring 3 tries to 0 in the first 40 minutes. Their first in the 20th minute when fullback Rob Robards ran off Alexander to score. It was just 7 minutes later when Penrith went further ahead. This time, big centre Brad Izzard powered through the weakened Cronulla outfit to make it 12-2 to the Panthers. Then the scheming Alexander bobbed up with another try before the break, which he duly converted, and it was a commanding 18-2 lead at half-time.
Alexander was in devastating form, and a 70-metre try in the second half, coupled with a 6-goal haul, gave him a personal tally of 18 points for the match. Cronulla scored some consolation points late in the match, but they were never in the hunt, as the Panthers ran out easy winners by 36 points to 12. At the Wollongong Showground, it was Illawarra's 5/8 Trevor Kissel who initiated the Steelers' first 4-pointer. His kick was regathered by Hetherington, who found Hardy and then Larder in support, and when Larder scored the only try in the first half, Illawarra led East by 6-4 at the break. That was the last of the scoring for the Roosters. Butter took a try by Carberry late in the match to seal victory for Illawarra, who ran out winners by 14 points to 4.
Steve Linnane opened the scoring after 16 minutes with a neat field goal, but this was the only time the Saints were to be ahead. Canterbury's bits and pieces outfit then took control, with the Mortimer brothers Peter and Steve combining before Turvey darted across under the posts. 3 minutes later, St George again paid the penalty for hanging off in defence. Michael Hagan should have been put down a couple of times, but wasn't. He went through the gun-shy defence before sending winger Sandy Campbell racing away to score, and the Bulldogs led 10-3 at the break. Canterbury prop Peter Johnston put his side further ahead with a penalty before the disappointing Saints gave their fans some hope of a fight back. Billy Note, the Dragons' best player, made the bust to send his partner John Fafita in for the try, and with Walford's conversion, it was 12-11. But a foolish shepherding infringement by Chris Johns while in possession gave stop-gap kicker Peter Johnston the chance to put the Bulldogs further ahead. He made no mistake, and Canterbury repeated last year's grand final result, winning 14-11.
And so the premiership table tonight sees the Rabbitohs in a rather familiar zone, really. On top of the table, they've won more than any other club. On 20, they lead from Parramatta and Manly 18, Canterbury 17, Penrith, with a bye to come next weekend, are on 14, so they're looking all right, the Panthers. Balmain, St George, North's on 12, West's 11, Illawarra 10, East 10, Cronulla 8 and Canberra 6. Talking of next weekend, there it is. Canberra plays St George on Saturday at Seaford, and then Parramatta versus Manly, one of the high spots in any rugby league calendar. That's at the stadium. East versus West, North's Cronulla, Canterbury, Illawarra, another good one, Souths and Balmain. And as I said, Penrith are short of 2 points. Well, that's it from Winfield and their week of rugby league, together with us. Of course, our program next week will feature the highlights of the State of Origin clash, the first of the 3 encounters between the Maroons and the Blues. I hope you've enjoyed the presentation, brought to you proudly by Winfield in this week of Rugby League.